Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Go ahead, Mr. Green, with your point of order, please.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, I find your actions rather unusual in unilaterally taking what you have determined to be the chair's prerogative when indeed it is the...
Hey gang, what's up? Just Ehren right here, Question Period Canada. Oh my god, I told you, these committee meetings are out of hand. This one certainly is out of hand. Immediately, it gets off the rails. It never gets back on there. The NDP is involved in this one too. Matt Green, who acts like he's a tough guy. He's not, but he acts like he is. Tries to bully around the chair of the committee. Doesn't go very far. Let's take a quick look at what goes on in committee, guys. This is why I want you to watch these videos. They're fun to watch every time. Let's check it out.
So without further ado, I am going
Point of order?
I have a point of order from...
Point of order.
Okay, so I've got Mr. Green on a point of order, and then I've got Monsieur Villemure on points of orders before we begin. Go ahead, Mr. Green.
Point of order, you referenced a motion. I would ask that you reread that motion pertaining to today's meeting.
That in light of the February 28, 2024 tabling of the Winnipeg lab documents, which contain the government's own findings, concluding that the People's Republic of China and its entities infiltrated Canada's top microbiology lab, a national security breach representing a very serious and credible threat to Canada. And given that access to this information has been denied to Parliament and all Canadians by the government for several... This is meeting number
Mr.
one.
Chair,
yeah,
I haven't stated any of my point of order. I simply
That's
asked
okay.
you
I'm just explaining,
to read that.
I'm just explaining where we're at, Mr. Green, from my perspective as chair, as to the reasons and rationale where we're at. So if you let me finish. The last point that I'll make is that we have up to 3 meetings with respect to the Winnipeg lab issue. As I mentioned, we did invite the ministers to come, as well as Mr. Rhoda. So we are going to be able to, I suspect and hope, to fill those meetings. But I just wanted to provide clarity to the committee as to where we're at today and the witnesses that are appearing before us and the rationale as well. So go ahead, Mr. Green, with your point of order, please.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, I find your actions rather unusual in unilaterally taking what you have determined to be the chair's prerogative when indeed it is the custom of the masters of their own domain. You, sir, are simply there to chair the processes and procedures within the course of the due planning. The planning has to come from the direction of the committee, sir. You have unilaterally taken this opportunity to call a meeting without any consideration to the other parties involved. You'll recall in a motion of our first meeting, I believe it was dated December 13th, 2021, that you were enacted under the accorded standing orders to hold meetings and moved by Ms. Hefner, who's back with us today, that you be authorized to hold meetings and to receive evidence and to have it published when a quorum is not present. Now, hold meetings and calling meetings, it has been my experience within my time on the House side here, that there are subcommittees that plan the work. And I think what I'm particularly agitated by is the fact that even within the course of this term, you'll reflect back on times in which members have used 106s to have an emergency meeting. I feel that it is your actions today have been used to surreptitiously avoid having to negotiate with any of the other parties present to call a meeting down the final stretch. And I should note for the record, for the media who's watching and everybody else, that every single conservative-led committee is doing the same thing without the ability to have what I think is a common courtesy, to have the common courtesy of a planning committee.
Hold on.
Now, on my point of order, Mr. Chair, you'll note that the standing orders require from the same day, dated December 13th, that they require having an in-camera meeting that allows the witnesses to be determined prior to the commencement of a study. You've not done that. You've effectively blocked out the block, the Liberals and the NDP from determining the course of action of this study without any conversation or consideration for scheduling. I find that to be an authoritarian use of your position and highly problematic.
I did explain earlier where we were at with respect to the witnesses. I will reiterate that we have 2 more meetings. I took it upon myself to ask Ms. Menard to be here, knowing that she was going to be out of the country until June 10th. We had an extra hour today to deal with her, and I thought Ms. Menard added to the discussion. So that's my rationale.
It's not your position to take these types of liberties to decide on behalf of the committee who and when we meet.
The other thing that I will say is that, and you'll recall or may not recall, that on May 7th, I indicated to the committee that I'd ask for deviation time because we're running out of time very, very quickly. And I sent you an email. I sent all members, including the vice chairs, and Mr. Villemure was included, and you were as well, indicating...
That's not factual, sir. Deviation in time means extended time. Not once did you ever bring any of your testimony. You can reflect on the Hansard meeting in the course of our constituency weeks, where all of us, I'm sure, had very busy schedules, had commitments that were in our communities, and you arbitrarily took your power as the chair to circumvent any kind of committee discussion in a way that I think is an abuse of your power, sir.
Point of order, Chair.
Absolute abuse of your power. And it turns committees like this into absolute chaos when there isn't a modicum of decorum and when there isn't a modicum of courtesy to be paid on the outset of these studies. You do not have the power, sir.
This isn't a point of order.
You do not have the power. It is. It's a scheduling question.
Okay, so
of course it's a point of order.
I've got your point. I appreciate
It's absolutely
your point.
a point of order.
I appreciate your point, Mr. Green. I'm going to move on because I've got Mr. Villemure on a point of order.
That's going to wrap up that one, guys. Like, Matt Green gets in the face of John Brassard many times. John Brassard doesn't seem to be too intimidated or afraid. Those are the community meetings. These politicians, guys, they're a different breed than at least I am. I don't know. Like and subscribe. We're learning about Canadian federal politics, trying to share that with you. We cover the daily question periods all the time, every day. It's a fun community. Come check out the chat. It's great. It's clean. We're learning about Canadian federal politics together. It's our soap opera. This is it, guys. I'm Ehren, Question Period Canada. Like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Like, click one of these videos floating around. We're out. Till the next video. Thank you very much for watching this one. The committee meetings, guys. They're crazy. Come back and watch for that. All right. Ciao.